this is Jo from Maths Tutor Me. Today we're doing fractions and we're going to learn about improper fractions and mixed numerals. Now, a proper fraction is the name we give when we have a smaller number for the numerator than there is on the denominator. But if the numerator is larger than the denominator, it is called an improper fraction and it represents a number greater than 1. Okay, so if we have, let's just have a look if I can see one. If I have just this fraction here, 3/7, the numerator is smaller than the denominator, so that's what we call a proper fraction. But if the number on the top is bigger than the bottom, then that's an improper fraction. Okay, that's just what I was talking about here in this first dot point. The second dot point is talking about mixed numerals. Mixed numerals contain a whole number and a fraction. Improper fractions can be written as mixed numerals. Okay, so a mixed numeral, it has a whole number at the front and a fraction with it as well. Okay, so that's what we're working with today. So let's have a look at example number 1. Use a diagram to represent 2 1/4. So you can choose what shape you'd like to use. You could use circles or squares, as long as you can cut it into quarters. So I have 2 whole pieces. I might use circles. So I have 2 whole circles. There's 1, 2 whole circles, and I have a quarter of a circle. So I'm going to draw the whole circle, a whole another one, but I'm going to cut it into quarters. Okay, and I just have 1 of that one. Okay, so I have all of this one, and a quarter here. So that's 2 wholes and a quarter. Okay, now thinking of this diagram in question 1, we can write 2 1/4 as an improper fraction. So instead of thinking of these as 2 wholes, we can break them up into quarters as well, like this. And we can just count how many quarters we have. Okay, so my denominator is going to be a 4, okay, because we're talking about quarters. But this whole circle here has 4 in it, so it's 4. And then I have another 4 here, so that makes 8. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces so far. 9 with the 1 extra one here. So there are 9 quarters in those 2 1/4 circles there. Okay, so 2 1/4 can be written as 9/4 as an improper fraction. This is the improper fraction, this is the mixed numeral. Okay, now you don't always want to draw diagrams every time that you want to convert between a mixed numeral and a improper fraction. So there's a little trick we can do to a little procedure we can use to help us convert between the two things. So if I have a mixed numeral like I have here and I want to write it as an improper fraction, whatever is on the denominator is always going to be on the denominator. Okay, so if I'm talking about sevenths here, it's going to be a 7th as an improper fraction. It's always going to be on the bottom. Okay, we just have to work out what's going to go on the top. So if I have 5 whole circles that have 7 pieces in them, I really need to times those numbers together. 5 times 7 is 35, plus I have 3 extra pieces. So 35 plus 3, 36, 37, 38. Okay, so without drawing it, I now have the improper fraction. So let me just go through it, the steps again. The number on the bottom stays on the bottom. To find the numerator, we multiply the bottom with the big number at the front, 5 times 7, and then we add on the extra 3 pieces on the top. So 5 times 7 is 35, plus 3 is 38. Let's try it again for B. 3 1/2 written as an improper fraction. The number on the bottom is always on the bottom, so 2 is on the bottom. I multiply 2 times 3, 2 3s are 6, plus the 1, plus 1 more is 7. So 7/2 is the same as 3 1/2. But then, of course, we want to go in the other direction. We want to change our improper fractions back to mixed numerals. So I want to work out how many whole circles I could make if each circle has to have 4 quarters. So how many times can 4 go into 15? Okay, there's going to be a remainder, but 4 threes would give me 12. I can't go to 4 fours because that's 16, that's too big. If I go to 4 threes, that gives me 12. So that could go 3 times. I could make 3 whole circles with quarters in them to get 12 pieces. Then I have to work out what my remainder is. So from 12, I have 13, 14, 15. There is 3 extra bits as a remainder, 3 out of 4. Okay, so what did I do? I have gone 15 divided by 4, or how many times can 4 go into that? That number comes out the front, and the remainder goes on the top. The number on the bottom is always on the bottom. Let's try that again for part B. Let's see how many times does 7 go into 19. Well, 2 7s would be 14, so we can go twice. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 means I have 5 as a remainder out of 7. Denominator stays the same. Okay, question 5. Simplify the fraction 3 6/12. Last lesson we talked about simplifying fractions. This time we want to simplify it, but we have a mixed numeral here. Now we can leave this big number here out the front and we can just simplify the fraction that is after it. So let's leave the 3 there and let's simplify the 6/12. Both of those numbers can be divided by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1 and 12 divided by 6 is 2. So 3 6/12 is the same as 3 1/2. Question 6. Let's label the position of each of these numbers here on the number line. Okay, but we have a mixture here of mixed numerals and improper fractions. Let's go through and do them as improper fractions because that's what we did last time, and we will convert them up on the next step. So we have fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we've got 5 spaces so we can go up in fifths. So we have 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, and 1 is 5/5. Okay, we can keep counting from there. 6/5, 7/5, 8/5, 9/5, 10/5, because 10 divided by 5 is 2. Keep going. 11/5, 12/5, 13/5, 14/5, 15/5. We need to keep going. 16/5, 17/5, and I think we've finally done enough. All right, let's see now. This first number, 1 2/5. Okay, we could do this a couple of ways. We could change this into an improper fraction. We could go 5 times 1 is 5, 6, 7, adding those on, which is here. Okay, so that is actually going to be there. Okay, that is 7/5 is the same as 1 2/5. If you don't want to convert it, you could also have said, well, my 1 is here, and each of these are going up by fifths, so 1, 2, so there's my 2/5. Okay. 11/5, that's the improper fraction, so that one is written down here, 11/5, right there. 17/5. Okay, yep, it's up here, 17/5, draw a dot there. And 2 4/5. So let's do the other way around this time. Let's count from here. There's the 2. So I would need to go up 4 lines up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one there will be the 4/5. Let's double check it. If I go 5 times 2, that's 10, plus the 4 is 14. So yes, 14/5 is the same as 2 4/5. Okay, so I should write 2 4/5 under that one because that was the label that was there. These ones were both written as improper fractions, so it's fine to have the improper fraction number next to those. Time for you to practice. So I'd like you to pause the video, try these questions, and restart to see the answers. Question 1, let's write 3 2/9 as an improper fraction. The 9 on the bottom will stay on the bottom. 9 times 3 is 27, and then we add on the 2, so it's 28/29. Same for B, the 6 on the bottom will stay on the bottom. 6 times 1 is 6, add on the 5, makes 11. Question 2, write as a mixed numeral. How many times does 2 go into 7? 2 goes in there 3 times because 2 3s are 6, and there's a remainder of 1, and it stays over 2. 11/4. The 4 is going to be the denominator. 4 can go into 11 2 times, because 2 4s are 8. Okay, so 2 times, and then from 8 we have 9, 10, 11. We have a remainder of 3. Question 3, simplify the fraction 5 2/8. So we can just simplify the 2/8 part by dividing by 2, top and bottom. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. Question 4, let's label the position of these points on our number line. We're going up in quarters. So we have 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, 4 quarters, 5 quarters, 6 quarters, 7 quarters, 8 quarters, 9 quarters, 10 quarters, 11 quarters, 12 quarters, 13/4, 14/4, 15/4, 16/4, still going, 17/4, 18/4, might as well do the last one, 19/4. All right, so we've done all the improper fractions going up here. Let's see, can we put these on now? So 3/4 is right here, already labeled for us, put the dot down. 14/4, okay, 14/4, yep, it's here, already labeled, put the dot on. 5/4, right here, put the dot on. 4.5. No, that's a bit tricky. We don't have halves on here. We have quarters. Okay, so could we write a half as in a different way to have it as quarters? Well, 4.5 is actually the same as 4 2/4, because 2/4 simplifies to be a half. So 2/4 would be 4 1/2 right there. Okay, so that's going to be my last dot, which I'll put down here as 4.5. Okay, question 5. A family ate 19 pieces of pizza. If each pizza has 8 slices, write the mixed numeral to represent the amount of pizza eaten. All right, they ate 19 pieces of pizza. We need to put that over 8, okay, because each pizza has 8 slices, and we want to know how many pizzas that is. Well, 8 goes into 19 twice, because 2 8s are 16, so that will be the same as 2. From 16 we count up to 19. 16, 17, 18, 19 is a remainder of 3 3/8. Okay, so 2 whole pizzas were eaten and 3/8 of a third pizza was eaten. Okay, that's the end of our questions today. Keep practicing and I'll see you next time. Bye.